Hi there everybody, welcome to the summer transfer special ahead of season 15 of Dog Turds into Diamonds. If you haven't seen the end of season 14, spoiler alert, it was Portsmouth that went up through the playoffs and not us. We are stuck in the championship for a fourth season, but you know what? I'm very hopeful that this is going to be our last season in the championship. I really think we've already done a lot of great business this summer that gives us a really good chance of getting up into the Premier League at the end of this season. 15 seasons is a long time in a Football Manager save. It's been longer than I would have liked, but I really do feel like this season we've got the best squad that we've ever had and a really great chance of doing it. So let's get straight into this. I'm going to tell you all about what's been going on so far this summer and what we're going to try and do to finish off the squad and really try and fight for those automatic playoff spots this season. Let's get into it. Well, only one place to start for a summer transfer special. We're going to look at what business we've been doing. This could be a pretty short episode because I'll be honest, I've already got most of the business that I wanted to get done. There are one or two areas that if we can improve over the rest of this summer, we'll certainly do that. But I think the squad, if I went into the new season with the squad that I've got, I think I would be happy with it. I do think we can still improve it, but it doesn't look bad, I'll be honest. We have bought some players in. Andy Harrison, which we've already spoken about before. He's come in from Newcastle for £25,000. A young centre-back who, although I don't think he's first team starter quality, I think he's a very good squad player. 6'2", very, very good physically, very good mentally without being exceptional. Technically, maybe lacking a little bit with the 12 marking and the 12 heading, but I think he's a very, very solid squad player. And as you can see, he's worth between £4.5 and £6 million. And we only paid 25,000 for him. So I think that's a good signing. I think in the Championship, he is going to be a very good, very solid central defensive option. Who else did we bring in? We spoke as well about Ben Holden, who's come in for a little bit less than £500,000. Bought in from League One Burton, 28-year-old Australian. I mean, technically he is extremely limited, apart from he is an absolute deep-lying playmaker expert. Brilliant first touch on the ball, superb passing, good vision, very, very good decision-making. Again, I think for our level of club, to get someone like this in who can play a really good pass, it's something we've been lacking since we lost Alex Baker last season. I think he's going to give us something in the squad that we have been lacking. So I think for less than £500,000, it's a very, very good deal. I'm looking forward to seeing how Ben Holden goes. I think he's going to give us some real squad depth. We've also bought in, again, as we spoke about previously, Amar Dill for £250,000 from Sunderland. He will become our first choice goalkeeper. He's got very good reflexes, excellent in one-on-one situations. Handling is acceptable. His kicking and throwing is decent. Command of area very good at 6'4", and a 16 aerial reach. If we compare him to Viljami Sanisalo, he is just a clear improvement. I mean, look at the polygons there. There's just no doubt about it. Much better technically. The same mentally, but then much better physically as well. He is an undoubted upgrade on what we have had. The former Sunderland man. You can see he starts out at Charlton, moves to Sunderland for 1.6 million, and now we have picked him up for just £250,000. I think it's a really good deal, and like I say, it's a player that does undoubtedly improve our team, and I think he'll win us some points this season that could make the difference. Ifan Fleming has come in from Manchester United on a free transfer. He's an under-18 Welsh goalkeeper. He's got 14 under-21 caps for the Welsh team. I think for an 18-year-old, he looks really, really solid. It doesn't turn 19 until February. He looks really, really good, a really good prospect. I'm going to look to send him out on loan, but I think this is possibly a first-team goalkeeper of the future. I'm surprised Manchester United have let such a good 18-year-old go. Brilliant reflexes, good one-on-ones, really good handling. I think Ifan Fleming is going to be a very, very good buy. And on a free transfer, obviously, no problem at all with that. Let's look at the outs that we did before the end of last season. Paul Hogan, the left back, I think he was ex-Liverpool, wasn't he? He has gone to Crystal Palace under-23s for nearly £400,000, came in for a free, and he was out of contract at the end of the season. A number of championship clubs offered him a deal, but Crystal Palace had already offered us money for him. Unfortunately, out of all his options, he chose Crystal Palace. So we've made a little bit of money on him, which is great. Had a few championship games last season, and then this season was out on loan at Doncaster in League Two, where he did not particularly well. So yeah, he didn't develop the way I was hoping he would, and we've got nearly £400,000 for him. So again, a decent deal. Bring him in for free and then make a bit of money out of him. I have got rid of Ben Bailey as well. He has gone to Southend for 170,000. Yeah, I mean, the ex, was he Portsmouth? I seem to remember him. No, he was Peterborough. So yeah, I mean, we bought him in because he was free. We needed midfielders. He seemed to have a little bit about him, especially mentally. But yeah, it didn't really work out with him. He wasn't even getting a game by the end of the season. A disappointing signing. But we made 170,000 out of him. The board are disappointed with that because I think he was meant to be worth up to about 500,000. But we took a low offer for him. Again, he was a free transfer and we've made money on him. So not going to complain. Daniel Porter, the right back, he has gone to Oldham. Again, I bought him in from, was it League Two, Walsall? I thought with his 13 marking and 14 tackling and decent all-round stats on the mentals, I thought he might be able to play a role in the squad. But yeah, in the end, he was clearly below championship level. We didn't really lose that much. We moved him on for the same amount as we paid for him. So Daniel Porter has gone, but not really going to affect the squad. And Eka Marti has gone to Manchester United, I guess to be second or third choice with their goalkeepers. We bought him in for 300,000. We did bring him in to be the first choice goalkeeper. Didn't really work out. Didn't play particularly well. He is very, very good in one-on-one situations, and he's got good aerial reach. His handling is meant to be very good, and his reflexes are meant to be good. I think he should have been a really exceptional signing, but he just didn't work out. Conceded 30 goals in 20 games. You can see throughout his career, apart from in the Spanish Federation 2 Group 5, he's never really had good ratings. He's been a disappointment wherever he's gone, really. So I think, again, to make sort of nearly 300,000 profit on him, I think is a very, very good deal. So I'm not too concerned by the fact that he's gone out to Manchester United. With Amar Dill coming in, we've got our new first choice goalkeeper. He's a lot better than Eka Marti. I think we've done okay out of that. And then there's just one more signing to tell you about. And this could be a little bit of a controversial one. We have bought in, let's have a look here, Kenny Lacazette-Derbant, a 24-year-old Frenchman. He has come in on loan from Fulham. Now, he was available for £250,000. I'm paying a £750,000 loan fee for him. Why would I do that? Well, it's because he earns £25,000 a week at Fulham, and he wanted £30,000 a week to sign for us. The board would only allow us to go for £12,500 a week, and I offered Lacazette-Derbant all sorts of incentives to sign, 50% of any future sale, all sorts of performance-related bonuses. He was having none of it. So in the end, I had to get this done as a loan signing. Now, he's pretty average in everything, but he's got 18 passing and 17 vision. The playmaker area, since losing Alex Baker, was somewhere where we really struggled last season, or this season just finished. I really want to make the most out of this 18 passing and 17 vision. I'm hoping he can be the playmaker that we need. Now, if we compare him to, let's have a look, for example, Callum Parkin, who has been the box-to-box midfielder the last 2 seasons, he is rated better technically than Callum Parkin, the same mentally, although Callum Parkin does have that fantastic decision-making and composure, and also pretty good vision. And he is a little bit worse physically than Callum Parkin. So is this such an upgrade to pay £850,000 for 1 season of his services? Is this a mistake? I might be living or dying on the strength of this signing, but I think Kenny Lacazette-Devan is going to be a great success for us. He is a player that I wanted to bring in when he left Chelsea, where he started his career. He didn't want to come to us. He turned us down and ended up going to Fulham. Well, obviously our status has improved greatly because he is now happy to be with us and he is in for the season. With those signings, I think it really improves our midfield. What else have we got going on? There are just 2 signings pending on the ins. Coming in tomorrow is Agustin Cuenca from Zaragoza. Coming in from Spain. He is a centre-back coming in on a free transfer. And you can see he is 6'6", 14 stone. He's very, very strong, but also pretty quick for a big man. And he's got amazing 18 jumping reach to go with that 6'6" frame. Now, I'm hoping all of that makes him absolutely formidable, because mentally he's not that great. He is very aggressive, but his composure is nothing special. His decisions are not particularly good. And his positioning is not great. I do think positioning counts for an awful lot with central defenders in Football Manager. So mentally, I'm not convinced he's the player I'm after. We do still need that Callum Simpson, Jamie Weeks replacement. Is Agustin Cuenca going to be it? I'm not sure, but I like his 14 marking and his 18 tackling. His 10 heading is not great, but when you consider he's 6'6" and 18 jumping reach, I think he should still win his fair share in the air. So I'm hoping that he is going to be a really good signing. But again, we'll go and have a look at the team now, and we'll talk about what areas we might still need to improve on. If I can get a better centre-back than Cuenca, I want to do it. But I do think the team is looking pretty good. This is how I'm anticipating lining up right now. Amar Dill is our new first choice goalkeeper. Igor Luiz to continue at right back, but he hasn't got any interest in him now. We got a £4.5 million offer for him from Portsmouth. I turned it down. He's got a £5.5 million release clause. If obviously they offer that, well, we'll have to lose him. But I did turn it down. He is our longest serving player and our captain. He's the only player left in the squad now that played in League 2. So I wanted to keep him, really, just for tradition's sake. But I mean, if someone does come in for him, I'll be happy to lose him, because I think it is an area we can improve. Philip Apaya, the vice-captain, will continue at centre-back. Now, I'm a little bit worried because with the new centre-back coming in, Cuenca and Apaya, between them, they've got 9 and 10 heading ability. So it's not the best, but hopefully the fact they're 6'4" and 6'6", that's not going to matter too much. But we'll have to wait and see. Again, another centre-back would be my priority. Lacazette-Devan is going to partner Weston Spence to start pre-season. The board are not happy with the £850,000 fee that we're paying for Lacazette-Devan. I mean, he does look sort of fairly average, apart from the fact that he's got that great passing. So I hope he works out. Anthony Johnson will continue as the right winger. Luciano Guante, I'm hoping can pick up his form from last season and be the left winger. His finishing ability on that left wing, along with his heading ability, was really looking good until he got injured this season. So hopefully he will do well. And then Jose Santos, at the moment, I'm looking to be our Trecatista in the number 10 role. The 18-year-old just improving no end. If he can get his vision up, he would just be a fantastic playmaker. So he is going to start the pre-season as my number 10 option. We'll see how it goes. And Salah Lalafi, the championship's top scorer, will be our number 9 striker. He has just got his first cap for Morocco and scored a goal. So I'm delighted with that. Hopefully that bodes well for the season coming. He can be the best striker in the championship, no doubt about it. And then on the bench, I mean, I've got a full bench right now. Viljami Sanisolo, guess what? He is now an international footballer. At 33 years old, he's finally been capped for Finland. The man we plucked out of the National League to play League One football for £28,000. And now, 5 years later, he's got his first international cap. It's one of those romantic Football Manager save stories that just brings a smile to your face. I'm absolutely delighted for Viljami. I hope that he will be happy sticking around as our backup goalkeeper this season. But it kind of feels like his story is now complete. He's been playing regularly in the championship. He's capped for his country. Really, really pleased for him. On the bench, we've got Ismail Rodriguez. He is a pretty average right back, really. But, I mean, he had a great season last season. He's worth a lot of money. His value has gone down, actually. It was at about 15 million. He's got a 19 million release fee clause. He can also go for 15 million because we didn't get promoted. So if I can get 15 million for him, that'd be awesome. But I'm going to see what happens with the right wing area, the right back area first. Luke Allen's the backup left back, out on loan last season. He's developed really, really well. He looks like a good prospect. I think, is he ex-Liverpool? No, I don't want a comparison. No, he's ex-Manchester City, Luke Allen. I'm happy to have him as backup left back, but it's also an area we can improve. Juan Carlos Gomez, again, backup centre-back or right back. Fairly average, but again, a decent backup option. He's got interest still from San Jose in MLS, so we might move him on if the money's right. On the bench in midfield, Cedric Preetz, in for his third season on loan from Schalke. Ben Holdham and Callum Parkin. Jack Evans, a right wing option. Mavididi, the left wing option. Josh Steffen, the American, is a number 10 or striker option. Can also play left wing. And Peter Finnan, the Fulham loanee, excellent young Irish striker, is the backup option there. Now, what do I think I can make happen in the rest of this window? If we go and have a look at our scouting setup, I'll show you who I'm thinking we might be able to get in. We spoke about Dave Lloyd last season. We didn't take up the opportunity to get him in on loan from Chelsea because we didn't have a full scout report on him. He has won promotion, won League One with Stoke. I think he looks absolutely awesome for championship level. Fantastic physically, strong mentally, strong technically. I think he is my number one priority right now. I'm going to see if Chelsea will allow him to come on loan to us. I would look to buy him, but I think his wage demands would be too much for us. But if we can get him on loan, I think that improves us in the left back area no end. I think it'd be absolutely awesome. And similarly, at right back, there's this 18-year-old Frenchman at Auxerre. He looks absolutely awesome. Ulysse Legrand. He looks fantastic. I'm still waiting for the full scout report to come in. There you go. That's a hard word to remember, isn't it? Scout report. I'm still waiting for the report to come in, but what we can see from him looks absolutely awesome. So again, I think he could be a big improvement on Igor Luiz on the right back position. So tomorrow he should be available for loan. I'm going to see if we can get him in. Again, I would love to buy him because his wage demands are not going to be too much, but he's very expensive. So we will see tomorrow if Auxerre are interested in sending him out on loan. I think he would be very, very good. And the other option, again, we've spoken about him before, is Dean Kidd at Aston Villa. He was signed in January from Chelsea, and he's in their under-23 squad. Physically, he's a really, really good athlete, and he's solid technically without being amazing, but he's still only 19. So one of those two options I would love to get in on loan and just improve right back and left back. Outside of that, all I'm really looking at now with what we've done is a new centre back. Just get that really dominant centre back in, but they're really hard to find. A player that wants to play in the Championship, wants to come to our club, and doesn't demand too much money. It's really difficult to find someone of the quality of a Callum Simpson, a Jamie Weeks. So we're just gonna have to keep our eye on it and see what's available. But I am actually scouting. If we'll go back to scouting. I'm actually scouting a couple of players who may be options. Vladimir Nikitin is a Ukrainian 19-year-old centre-back who, from what we can see here, looks very, very promising. So I'm going to wait to get the full scout report in on him, but he looks very, very good. And, I mean, maybe he could be that option. His heading is only up to 14, so maybe not exactly a great fit. But, I mean, if he's a good all-round player and a good prospect, we might look at him as an option. And Santi Guilhem is a 19-year-old Spaniard who is currently on loan at Shakhtar Donetsk. After playing at Shakhtar, although he did only make one appearance, is he going to want to come to us in the Championship? I don't know. But, I mean, if we could get hold of him, I think with his 15 heading, 14 marking, 14 tackling, and also decent passing, very, very good mentals. His concentration is great. Composure and anticipation are good, which again is important for a centre-back, and decent positioning. Again, if we could get that deal done, I think he would be an exceptional player as well. So those are the options that I'm looking at. And apart from that, the only other one that I didn't comment before is we have put a bid in for Francisco Javier from Cordoba in Spain. He is a 19-year-old attacking midfielder who play anywhere across those attacking midfield positions, although he does prefer to be a number 10. Now, he has got interest in him. I have bid for him without getting the full scout report, but I'm bidding for him because look at the teams that are interested in him: Manchester City, Southampton, Tottenham and Watford. So, I mean, from what I can see on his scout report and looking at the clubs that are interested, I just didn't want to hang around. We've had an up to £3 million bid accepted. I think it's 2.9 million, which would make him our record signing. And I want to just get in before a potential wonder kid is snapped up by one of those big clubs. So I've got the bid in. We're waiting to see what happens. I'm hoping that, especially Manchester City and Tottenham, I'm hoping they don't react. I'm hoping they leave him be and we can get him in. It looks like I am looking at him as potentially our new left winger. He's got good crossing, fantastic dribbling. Looks like his first touch and free kicks are decent. His passing is exceptional. Vision not bad. And then, I mean, off the ball doesn't look too bad. Decisions might need a little bit of work. And then physically looks decent as well. And he's 6'1". He's not a small lad. So I think he really fits the bill. It's a big risk to take because it would be our record signing, but I am going to take that risk. So we'll see what happens with Francisco Javier. But yeah, we don't really need forward positions. But if I can get an exceptional wonder kid in, I'm going to do it. We don't have the big dominant midfielder that I was after. Weston Spence is still with us. We have turned down an up to £9.5 million bid from Aston Villa. He's got a £16 million release clause, the ex-Manchester City man. Yeah, I turned down that bid. It was £3 million up front, and with add-ons and instalments, it could go up to £9.5 million. Just wasn't good enough. I want to keep him. His passing and vision have gone up this season. His first touch went up this season even. He's a very good leader, and he's improving his attacking awareness, which is where he has been lacking. He's making leaps and bounds forward. He's in the England, I think, under 20 team or under 21 squad. Just the player I want to build everything around. But I mean, if we lose him, I'm really going to be worried, because at the moment he's the only midfielder we've got, him and Preetz, that can put in a bit of a tackle. So I do still want that really monstrous, dominating midfielder, but I don't see that player out there. Much like the big dominating centre-back, I don't see that option that I can get in. I mean, Cedric Preetz is 6'4", very strong, brilliant tackler. Maybe I don't need him. Maybe Cedric Preetz can be this ball-winning midfielder for us. So I feel like my midfield's pretty complete, but with Lacazette, Durban and Ben Holden coming in, we've got those new playmaker options that we didn't have last season. Yeah, we might be lacking on that super dominant midfielder, but I think what we've got gives us a whole new level to what we had last season. So again, the centre-back position, really the only firm priority, but I do want to upgrade left back and right back as well. And if a midfielder pops up, great. And hopefully we will get hold of Francisco Javier to play on this left wing. I think it would just make us a really, really good championship squad. So that's going to be all from me for the moment. I will come back and let you know when there's anything to report. But I think that's going to be just about it. I think there's going to be very little to tell you more about in this summer special. So sorry that I've got most of my business done before recording this. But yeah, I'll let you know if there's anything more. Right, it's the 5th of July. First move of the new season for us. Francisco Javier has been given a work permit. He is coming in. Our new record signing. It's 2.5 million raising to 3 million. Sorry, 2.3 million raising to 3 when all the add-ons are accomplished. He's only getting 7,500 a week. It's a really good deal in that sense. Let's go forward a day and let's take a look and see if he was worth getting so excited about. Here we go then, the moment of truth. Let's have a look at my box of chocolates signing. Francisco Javier, send him on his language course. Salah Laffi is being asked to welcome a lot of players now, so he's obviously considered as a real team leader. So that's quite nice to know that someone that we're going to rely on an awful lot has a big influence on the squad. Let's check him out then. Francisco Javier. Yeah, he might not be quite as good as I was hoping. Yeah. His dribbling is fantastic, as is his passing. His first touch is very good. His balance is very good, and he's quick. Well, at least in his acceleration. And he's very brave and determined. Outside of that, he's not exceptional, is he? I really thought I was stealing a march on Manchester City and Tottenham. I thought this was going to be an absolute coup. Yeah, maybe it's not the greatest, considering he is going to be our record signing once all the add-ons are added up. Yeah, hopefully with first team appearances and first team football, he is going to improve. But yeah, we could do with a little bit more on his vision. He definitely needs to improve his decision making, composure, and anticipation. Yeah, I'm a little bit underwhelmed, I have to say. But do you know what? I mean, it's still a good investment, because look at his value. He's worth up to 17.5 million, and he's cost us 2.3 right now. So Yeah, okay, maybe not the total difference maker that I was hoping or expecting, but maybe not all that bad. I'm trying to convince myself. Yeah, there you go. There's Francisco Javier anyway. So let's have a look. What shall we do with him tactically? Right, let's have a look here. Francisco Javier. I think what I'm probably going to do is give him Josh Steffen's place on the bench and then move him onto the left wing as an inverted winger there, coming in on his right foot. Yeah, I think he's got the dribbling and he's got a half decent cross on him, hasn't he? Hopefully he's going to do well there, and the more he plays, hopefully the more that will develop. And hopefully it'll be if nothing else, a good investment for the future if we can get big money back on him. So there's Francisco Javier. We probably look a little bit top heavy now. There's no place in the squad for Steffen. I've offered out Felix Huddleston as well. Looks like we're probably going to get him out on loan. There were no takers on him to buy. But yeah, we do probably have a lot of attackers now. How does Mavididi compare to Francisco Javier? I think mentally he's definitely going to be better. But outside of that, have we got a comparable player here? Let's have a look. I think looking at that, Francisco Javier looks the better player, doesn't he? If we look at attributes, well, yeah, I mean, Francisco Javier, he's better technically, apparently, which I think is heavily weighted by the passing and the dribbling. But he is better technically. They're the same mentally. And, well, there you go. That'll teach me for clicking around there. Yeah, and they are the same physically. But I like that Francisco Javier has a little bit more strength. They've got the same pace, but much more acceleration for Francisco. Much better balance to go with his dribbling. The agility is not that different. It's only the jumping reach which really makes the difference for Mavididi there. So I'm pretty pleased now looking at that comparison, and he's getting paid less than Mavididi as well. So yeah, I'm not unhappy with that now. I've seen that. I think at 19 years old and the time to develop, he does look like a viable option to play on that wing in place of Mavididi. So I think overall I'm happy enough with that. What else is happening? Well, I am still looking at my fullbacks. The left back option from Chelsea is really not an option because they want 150,000 a month for him to come on loan to us. So I'm not going to do that. The right back from Aston Villa, I might go through with that. Let's just have a quick look here. I've got one player in on loan. He came up on the scout reports. Matteo Semeraro. And he has been released by Juventus. He looks a really, really good left back from what we can see here. Maybe not exceptional technically, but very, very solid. The same mentally, very, very solid by the looks of it, and good physically. I have offered him a contract because he's also been offered by Millwall, Rotherham and Sheffield Wednesday. I would imagine he's going to go to one of the others. I would imagine Millwall are going to be offering big money. But that would be a very nice left-back option. Again, even being a box of chocolates signing, from what we can see here, he is certainly comparable to Dylan Jones. So, I mean, I guess I can hope that he accepts a place with us, bearing in mind Millwall were nearly relegated last season. But I think they're going to be offering much more money than we can. I think we've offered him £9,750 a week. I'm guessing Millwall are going to outdo that, so we'll see. But I mean, he's very, very solid, perfectionist personality, and obviously has played with Juventus. So a decent bit of quality there. If we can get him in, that would be fantastic. Let's have a quick look at the lad from Aston Villa. Yeah, so Dean Kidd, the ex-Chelsea trainee, now at Aston Villa in their under-23s. He's worth more than 6 million, and he's got a few clubs interested in the loan. Look, Charlton are after him. So, I mean, I think the last time I looked, they just wanted his wages paying. Yeah, they want 80% of his wage, 11,000 a week. That's not bad. Now, I am going to put that in. I'm going to ask for him to just be a squad player. I'm going to put that in because I do think he's a very, very good championship option. So we'll look for Dean Kidd. What's Sam Wheeler like? Because he can play right back as well. Yeah, he's nowhere near as good. He is very much a centre-back, isn't he? He might actually be a half-decent centre-back option if we need it. I mean, he's a little bit limited technically outside of the bread-and-butter defending, but he is a decent bread-and-butter defender. Good anticipation, good concentration, which I like. Positioning and decisions need a bit of work, but I mean, he could maybe be an option for us. You can see we've got a number of them here on our shortlist. What's Kieran Lynch like as a defensive midfielder? Again, kind of limited in the defensive midfield role, but could be an option, the Irishman, to fill out the squad. Dara McSweeney, again, kind of limited overall. Pretty good mentally, to be fair, and physically. Maybe a little bit limited technically. So we'll keep looking around, but I think what we're looking at now is I've got a few other right backs and left backs that are on the scouting list. I'm waiting for those scouting reports to come in. So I've not got any imminent signings planned, and I do feel like we're more or less there. It is really just the full-back positions and the centre-back position that I'm prioritising now. So I don't know, we might be back, we might not be, depending if I can get anybody for those positions. Francisco Javier as well. I'm just going to set up on his development screen. We're going to give him some work on his attacking movement. Yeah, you can see he's really does need to improve that on the mental side. And I'm going to go double intensity training for the young Spaniard. And I'm going to make him train as that inverted winger on attack. So yeah, that's how the team and the squad is looking right now. You can see we've got a few other players that are in on trial. Carlson is another left winger, a Swedish 26-year-old just been released. Again, what we can see looks half decent, looks pretty good. Just going to wait and see till the full report comes back before making a decision on him. Louis Nicholas is a central defender. Where has he been released from? He has been released from Lyon in France. And again, what we can see looks half decent, but maybe not exceptional. So perhaps won't go forward with Louis Nicholas. But Pizzotti is an Italian centre-back, I believe. Yeah, and again, he's pretty average, really. He could probably be a decent squad player. But technically, yeah, pretty average for the Championship. Looks more like a League One level central defender technically. Mentally and physically might be a bit better. But again, don't think we'll be moving forward with him. Yeah, I will be back if there is any chance of us improving this defensive back line and maybe finding a ball-winning defensive midfielder. But as it stands, I'm kind of quite happy with what we've got there. I think it's a very, very strong Championship team for this season. But yeah, certainly one or two bits that we could do. The only one I will show you, just thinking about Jose Santos as the number 10 Trecatista. Again, this young 19-year-old improving loads, looks really good. Just lacking a little bit on his goal scoring. But outside of that, looks like a really good player, really good superstar in the making. He's still got 4 years on his contract at Benfica, so he's not going to be getting out of there anytime soon. But we do have a player that's come up on our scout reports who I think looks very, very interesting, and I'll finish off just showing you him, and then we'll see if maybe we're back afterwards. Juan Lopez is a 24-year-old Colombian at Inter who I'm currently scouting. I'm really excited to get his scout report back. He looks like he could be an exceptional player. I do like my Colombians, and I'm still really thinking about this number 10 Trecatista. Now, looking at Juan Lopez here, he has got a fantastic first touch. He's absolutely brilliant off the ball. Very, very good passing. Looks like he can finish. and doesn't look too shabby physically. So I'm waiting to see what the rest of the information is like when it comes back. But he is available on loan, and he makes just over 10,000 a week. So he's not going to break the bank. So I'm going to wait and see. I mean, he might even be an option to buy because, I mean, he's not that expensive, up to 3.3 million. So I'm going to keep my eye on Juan Lopez. I'll let you know what happens with that. I'll let you know if he looks like he could be an upgrade on what we've got in that number 10 position. So that'll be all for now, but I will be back if there is any more to tell before the end of the transfer window. So yeah, let's see what happens. Now this here is what I was worried about. Crystal Palace have bid 11.5 million for Adam Weston-Spence, 7 million up front, and then 4.5 million in instalments, and 40% of next sale profit. I mean, that is a pretty good deal, I think. I mean, he's going to be such a good player, only 19, and this is kind of last season's Alex Baker situation all over again. We've already turned down just short of 10 million from Aston Villa. I am going to reject this, but there is so long to go until the end of the transfer window that I think Adam Weston-Spence is now going to start to really kick up a fuss. I think what I might have to do as a strategy is maybe offer him out, but with a year's loan back, and just try and keep hold of him that way. I think hanging on to this young lad is going to be next to impossible. And I think if I just hold off, someone's going to trigger his 16 million release clause. So I think what we might try and do is maybe get about 13, 14 million for him with a loan back. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, a little bit of pressure mounting. And the really difficult thing is I do not have anybody lined up to replace him. We really do need that real dominating, tough tackling, physical midfielder who can also do a bit with the ball. And yeah, without Weston-Spence, we would really be missing a very important player. So we'll have to see what happens. But I think this one is going to start building up into a bit of a big deal the more this transfer window goes on now. Well, we've lost out on Dave Lloyd. He's gone to Sheffield United. He's getting 36,500 a week, so I can't blame him really, can I? But yeah, disappointed with that. Disappointed that Chelsea let him go. I think Sheffield United, they've just come down from the Premier League. They have had a real fire sale on all their top players, so I don't know how strong they're going to be in the Championship, but they have got an absolutely cracking left back there. So I'm disappointed to miss out on that. I'm still looking at other left back options, but Dave Lloyd was certainly the best of them. So that's a bit of a shame. And I've got the option, look, of getting Dean Kidd on. He's going to getting Dean Kidd in even. He's going to cost us 11,000 a week from Aston Villa. Now, do I commit 11,000 a week to this player? I don't know. I mean, mentally he looks solid without being exceptional. Physically he looks absolutely great. And technically, again, he looks solid without being exceptional. Do I spend 11,000 a week on that? I'm going to just delay it. This is the second time I'm going to delay it. I won't be able to delay it again after this. Again, I've got other right back options that I want to look at, and there's still a lot of time before the season starts, so I'm going to hold off on that one for now. But yeah, unfortunately we've missed out on Lloyd. That's a real shame. But yeah, there's plenty more fish in the sea, isn't there? We'll have a look and see what other options there are. Well, at last, some good news to finish off the transfer window. I didn't think it would happen, but Adam Weston-Spence is now happy to stay at the club. We've turned down a £9.5 million bid from Aston Villa. We turned down, it was around about 11.5 million from Crystal Palace. But he is now happy to stay at the club, and that is fantastic because it was generating a lot of drama in the dressing room. But I mean, look at him, he's 19 years old. He's going to be an absolutely fantastic player, definite Premier League quality in the future. He's making great improvements, particularly to his attacking game, which was the area that was kind of lacking when he joined us. He's just been absolutely fantastic. He's still got 2 years left on his contract. Only earns £1,500 a week. He's got a 16 million release clause. I might have to look at giving him a new contract and trying to get that release clause up and a few more years on it later. Now, I did have a possible replacement lined up, Nenad Savic, who's a 23-year-old midfielder at Tottenham, available for loan. But you can see kind of different players. Savic is very defensive-minded. He's a defensive midfielder, but also with a good first touch, pretty decent mentally, and very, very good physically. But overall, Weston Spence is clearly the better player. So, I mean, that is an absolute weight off my mind. We are 4 days away from the first game of the season. I still haven't made improvements in those fullback positions. I haven't got the central defender I want. Now, I have had a number of players during the window that I could have signed just for signing's sake, just to bolster the squad. They wouldn't really have been particular improvements in terms of quality. So for the moment, I'm kind of holding off. I mean, it's the start of August. We've still got 3 weeks before the window actually closes. So I think I'm going to start the season like this. We've still got Dylan Jones and Igor Luiz in the fullback positions. Cuenca is actually having a very good preseason. I mean, his heading is his weakness, and maybe mentally he really needs to improve things like his decisions and his composure, his positioning, his average. But he's been very, very good in preseason. I'm happy to start with him. But yeah, I would like to see a really, really dominant central defender come into this squad. So basically, I'm waiting at the moment on a lot of scouting reports. We've got loads of players that we still don't know the full picture about. I've had a few deals lined up, and then I've ended up pulling out of them because I just wasn't 100% sure. I want to wait for the right players, but I think that's where we're going to end. The next episode will be Nottingham Forest away. You can see we've had a great pre-season, won every single game, only 1 clean sheet or 2 clean sheets, but the starting 11 I don't think has conceded a goal yet, and we have played some half-decent sides. Austria Vienna, Rapid Vienna, De Graafschap in the last game, but you can see there as well, we absolutely annihilated Everton 4-1 at home. That was set up as part of the Tommy Reed sale, that friendly, and we absolutely played them off the park. And Jose Santos got 2 goals. He has been absolutely phenomenal in pre-season. Really excited about him. Did Tommy Reed get an appearance here? He came off the bench to play against us. That's nice for him. Yeah, I'm really pleased. Jose Santos has been great throughout pre-season. Mavididi has gone a couple of games without a goal, missed a penalty in his last one, but Jose Santos improving really nicely, now 19 years old. He is a superstar in the making. I think he can be absolutely great for us this season. He's been playing as the Trecatista, and I tell you what, Sean Mavididi is having an Indian summer. The 30-year-old, look, he's played 5 games in pre-season, 5 goals and 4 assists. The last 2 games he has started because I just couldn't leave him out. He was just coming off the bench and scoring every single game. So I've started in the last 2 games and he has just been absolutely incredible. So Sean Mavididi is going to start the season as that left winger still. So I am really excited by the amount of goals we have been scoring in pre-season. We have just been lighting it up every game. And, I mean, we've got a tough start. Nottingham Forest away, who have just come down from the Premier League. I do think they've still got a championship squad, just 1 season spent in the Premier League. But they do have a couple of useful players. Then Stoke at home, who have just come up from League One. They dominated League One. Rotherham away, who I think have also just come up from League One. And Middlesbrough at home are always going to be tough. It's an interesting start to the season. So that will be the next episode. And all I will do, just to finish off, is just show you a very interesting player that I have looked at in the past. And I've toyed with signing them. But it's nothing to do with their ability. that has made me consider them as a player. Have a look at this, you'll see what I'm on about. Stick a pony in my pocket, I'll fetch a suitcase from the van. Yeah, Derek Trotter is a striker at Manchester City, worth 10 million, gets 72 grand a week. Absolute grease lightning. Yeah, I saw the name. I would have loved to have put him in the team just for the sake of it, just for the clickbait on the videos. But yeah, he looks like he's going to go on loan to Wolfsburg, unless they've turned that down, because I don't see anything pending there. He did get a loan offer from Wolfsburg, but yeah, he looks a very handy player, doesn't he? It looks pretty good. But there you go. I'm not sure if he's got a brother in the Manchester City team as well, maybe Rodney. But yeah, Derek Trotter not coming to us anytime soon, but just one of those nice little names that Football Manager throws up for you with their regens, right? There you go. I'm leaving it there. Unless, of course, there is a major signing that happens in the next 4 days before we kick off our season. I will see you for Nottingham Forest away for the start of season 15. As always, if you've enjoyed it, drop a like on it, comment if you want, and subscribe to the channel. I will see you for the start of season 15 when, to be honest, it is promotion or bust. If we don't go up this season, I might have to consider moving clubs. We've turned down loads of offers from the Premier League over the years. If we don't go up this season, just to get into the Premier League on this save before Football Manager 23 comes out, we might have to just jump ship and go to a Premier League team just to finish off this save maybe. But that's how things are looking. I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.